Greetings from sunny and warm Las Cruces, New Mexico. I wanted to share some good news today. That's why I'm jumping on here. I got my first copy of In the Shadow of Sun Mountain. Great big old monster book, 360 some pages. This is just a proof copy, but I wanted to share a couple of excerpts from it and talk to you a little bit about an idea that I have and see if you're interested in participating in it. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. But first, I wanted to share, you've probably seen this Aspen image. This is how I've laid the book out in this chapter 7. The artwork on one side and text or whatever on the other side, or below the image sometimes, it depends. I've done all different mediums here too, but let me read this 3 Aspens text to you, and then I'm going to go and share another piece on a painting, just to give you a little variety and give you some ideas of what I'm doing here. This is called 3 Aspens. Using my vintage 19th century Darlow Petzval lens and the wet collodion process feels particularly poignant here. I'm documenting these aspens using techniques from the same era when the Utes were being displaced from this very land. Through the palladium printing process, the aspen bark takes on this luminous quality against the darker background, almost like ancient writing on stone. The rough edges of the print and the historical process connect to Becker's ideas about our attempts to preserve and immortalize moments in time. I deliberately composed these 3 aspens to sound like sentinels, their bark scarred and textured, holding stories of this contested ground. The palladium tones create these deep shadows that seem to speak to what Zappa would call our tragic consciousness, our awareness of loss and impermanence. The traditional photographic process itself becomes part of the meaning here, as I'm using these 19th century techniques to contemplate displacement and survival, creating a dialogue between the enduring presence of these trees and the absent presence of the Ute people who once lived among them. So that's an idea of some of the kind of the writing that I tried to, that's why it's taken me 4.5, almost 5 years to do this. And then here's what I call 4 toes. It's an acrylic painting, page 306. Sorry, 4 toes. This piece fascinates me as it connects directly to Becker's idea about our animal nature and our attempts to transcend it. I've often talked about our animality. If you've ever watched any of my videos and these theories, you'll know what I'm talking about here. The golden orange forms arranged as primitive toes speak to our evolutionary past, a past that Becker argued we constantly try to deny or transcend through culture. I chose to render these forms in luminous golds against the deep crimson background, creating an almost icon-like quality that elevates these simple anatomical forms into something more symbolic. The thick black outlines I used around each form create a sense of containment and definition, much like how Becker suggested we use cultural systems to contain and give meaning to our biological reality. The texture and dimensionality I created within each toe form suggests both flesh and light, speaking to this duality between our physical nature and our aspirational symbolic selves. What particularly interests me is how the painting simultaneously embraces and transforms our primitive origins. The anatomical reference is clear, yet the execution, with its rich colors and almost celestial quality, performs exactly the kind of transmutation that Becker identified in human culture, taking our basic animal nature and transforming it into something transcendent. The deep red background suggests both the biological reality of flesh and blood and a kind of cosmic space, creating tension between our earthly origins and our aspirations toward immortality through culture and art. This directly connects to my exploration of how artists process mortality. We acknowledge our physical nature while simultaneously transforming it through creative vision. 4 toes. So those are a couple of examples from the book. Again, this is how many pages I just clarify here, just to be sure, right? 360 pages in this. So I want to briefly talk to you about my idea of maybe how I might make this book happen. So if you're interested in getting this, I want to make sure you get a copy of it and read it. My primary concern is not commercial, is getting a copy of this book to every art school, college, university, library, arts, any kind of outlet. Send some up to the Ute Museum in Montrose, Colorado. Anything to do with art, Native American history, philosophy, creativity, and mortality kind of theme that I've got going on here. Any institution that deals with that would like a copy of this book, I want to give them a copy of this book. So Jeannie came up with a great idea, just kind of ran it by me when we were having lunch. She said, hey, why don't you have them buy a copy, and with that money, send another copy to an institution. I thought, wow, that's a great idea. I don't know what the printing costs on these will be. 360 pages. This is a hardcover, and I'm going to do them hardcover. But I'm not sure the cost on them yet. But and again, this is not commercial. I just want to cover the printing cost and cover the shipping if I can, and get these copies out to these institutions if that's possible. So that's an idea. I don't know if it'll come to fruition or what'll happen. I haven't even got the final on it yet. I still have another iteration to go on this. But gives you an idea of what I've been doing and why I've been cloistered or put away, kind of like a monk, if you will, for a while, because I've really cracked down. I'm really truly happy with this book, the writing, the artwork, the ideas, the themes. I've really spent a lot of time connecting these theories and ideas with creative types of people and how we process our existential dread and existential terror, if you will. So if you're interested in that, drop me an email or come by and drop me a note in the comments here on YouTube if you want. It's been 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. I'm going to get off of here now. Let me know what you think. I'm excited about this. I hope you are too. It's been a long journey. It's been a fun journey. I don't know what's next on my plate, but this is very rewarding to me. So I appreciate all the support you've given me over the years for it. Thank you. Have a good day, evening, afternoon, whatever. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.